PMI data showed the global economy continue to grow at a reasonable rate in August. The headline PMI fell from 55.5 to 55.1, but that's still very much in expansion territory. Tracked here in this chart against global GDP year-on-year change, we can see that the economy is expanding at a rate of around 3%. That's up from 2% in the second quarter. So this is a reasonable but unspectacular upturn. If we dig a little bit deeper, looking at the developed with the emerging world, we can see one of the reasons why growth is relatively lackluster is this poor performance of the emerging markets. Nevertheless, growth in the emerging world is starting to pick up. We saw in particular an increase in activity in the Chinese service sector. That helped push the emerging market numbers up. But perhaps more interesting is to delve a little bit deeper into the developed world. In this next chart, we track the four major developed economies. This is the output index. And we can see here that growth is very much being led by the US and the UK. Both economies look like they're contracting at a quarterly rate of around 1% in the third quarter of the year. That's a strong upturn and perhaps begs the question of just how long policy can remain loose for if such growth persists in coming months. It's a different story in the Eurozone though, where the rate of growth is very modest. In fact, it dipped slightly again. In August, we're looking at a growth rate of around 0.3% at best. So this is also begging the question as to whether the ECB needs to do a little bit more to promote growth. Obviously, we've got some measures in June that should come into play in September and December in terms of the LTROs. So maybe there's some scope already there to lift growth. Over in Japan, there's a slightly encouraging picture here. Growth is modest, but nevertheless, we've seen a big improvement from the second quarter when the economy contracted as that sales tax hit spending. The PMI there rose into positive territory for a second month running, suggesting that recession is being avoided. Nevertheless, the Japanese authorities may be looking to do more to re-stimulate growth a bit further as we move into the closing months of the year. So on the whole, it's a reasonably encouraging picture of the global economy in August. That's just a brief overview. There's a lot more detail on the commentary section of market.com.